What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Now today we've got the 6th IPL match of the season, Kolkata Knight Riders versus RCB, and RCB get the win. It goes down to the last over. RCB, they made it harder than it had to be. I mean, they were chasing 128. They could have chased this down in 15 overs and lost 2 wickets. But instead, they made it very difficult for themselves, and they almost choked at the end, RCB. So they will not want to let a game like that ever happen again. If you are so close to the box position, do not throw your wickets away, for God's sake. And then put the rest of your tail end under pressure to get the job done. But RCB, they still get the win, so that's still the positive for RCB. Look, a pretty slow match. You know, the ball was pretty slow on the pitch. There wasn't a whole lot of runs made. When 128 is the first inning score, you're not really expecting a Chris Gale master show, are you? So, yeah, it was, well, credit to the bowlers. Player of the match was the man Wanindu Hasaranga. The man Wanindu, he did not have a good first game. And I've already seen, people on Twitter and the IPL community talking shit about him after his first game. Like, oh, he's a bad batsman, can't bowl. And then the next game, he comes out, takes 4 for 20 or 4. He's class. He's an absolute class little man. A class little man. Yeah, I mean, he bowled exceptionally well. He is the reason RCB won this game. So well-deserved player of the match for the man Hasaranga. All right. Well, let's jump straight into the scorecard. It's early in the morning. I'm a mess at the moment in the morning. But hey, all right, scorecard time. Let's get straight into it. Ajinkya Rahane, well, couldn't do what he did in the first game. 9 off 10 this time. Venkatesh Iyer, again, we're just waiting for him to put out a big score or take some wickets. It's been a slow start. Slow start for the season for Venky. Of course, when he was playing for India as well. Didn't exactly blow the world away. So, hopefully this is just a little slump at the moment. And, next game he can go out, take 2 wickets and make 50 off 25. Because this is a guy with a world full of talent. And if there's anything India haven't had, is a paceman all-rounder. Now, I know in Indian conditions, normally you choose that spinning all-rounder in, Jadeja and Ashwin. But that'd be a big luxury for India to have in the future. Obviously you've had a guy like Hardik. His body just isn't up to it. And Venkatesh is that next guy. Not even for just IPL, but for the world of cricket. So, everyone wants to see Venky Iyer do well. But yeah, I mean, he's a talent. So, we're not riding him off just yet. Number 3, Shreyas Iyer, the skipper. Well, he just couldn't get going. 13 off 10. It was just incredibly well bowled by the RCB bowlers. They just didn't give Kolkata much length. They didn't give many bad deliveries early. It was really classy bowling. They set to what they were going to do, and it was clearly take pace off the ball and just slow that run rate up, build pressure, and they did exactly that. They kept building pressure, and then they just played a silly shot to go out. Nitish Rana gone for 10. Sunny Narayan gone for 12. Sam Billings gone for 14. Sheldon Jackson was gone for a golden duck. Big Dre Russ was gone for 25. Tim Southey, his first game in Kolkata for this season, went out for 1, so be it. Umesh Yadav with some late runs, 18 off 12. And Chakravarthi not out, 10 off 16. So, look, a total of 128, let's be honest, was never going to get the bloody job done. I mean, 128 was just never going to be enough with the hitting power and talent that RCB have. All right, RCB bowlers, the man David Willey, none for 7 off 2. I don't know why he only bowled 2 overs. I actually thought he looked really, really good in his first 2 overs as well. And then all of a sudden didn't get another bowl, which I thought was weird. But, I mean, if you guys have watched this channel for long enough, you know that I'm not a massive David Willey fan. I think he's been overrated for a lot of his career. And, I think he's past his, best cricket, obviously. But, hey, he impressed me. So, I love when players, if I say something bad about a player and then all of a sudden they come out, they have great games and they prove me wrong. I would rather be proven wrong than be proven right about a cricket player being bad. I'd rather everyone just be good because it means cricket will be in the best position possible. Because I had this tweet sent to me the other day of what player? It was... Who was... I think it might have been about Ben... Oh, no, Krunal Pandya, that's right. I had this tweet sent to me the other day. Someone tweeted at me and goes, why do you hate on Krunal Pandya? And then it said some swear words in Hindi after it because I had to translate it. I had to ask someone to translate it for me. And look, they said some interesting things, but I'm sorry. I was just giving my honest opinion. That's what we do here on YouTube. But in saying that, well done, David Willey. Well done. I'm trying to bring more, positivity to the channel. So no more slander. Well done. Well done. But we do have to get into the batting scorecard. And I do have to talk about David Willey then. And he didn't bat very well. So I will be talking about that. If you're a Willey fan... Wait. If you're a Willey... Okay, that sounds wrong. I'll edit that out. Mohammad Siraj, 1 for 25 off 4. Was very expensive in his first game. Good to see him back it up here. I think this is the next step for Siraj, is dominating short form cricket. We've seen him bowl amazingly in test cricket. He's got his position locked in that test team for the next 7 years plus. Like, that's a given. The ODI, well, not even the ODI. The T20 team should be the next step for Siraj and his career. He should want to be playing at least all 3 formats for India and be in the best 11. I think the next step for Siraj is getting his consistency and length right. Sometimes he can bowl too many short balls, or he doesn't change his variations up enough. You'll see a guy like, David Willey, for instance, who he might bowl a bouncer, but at least, in T20 cricket, you don't know what he's going to do next. He might bowl a knuckleball. He might bowl an off cutter, a bloody leg cutter. Like, the variations are so important in short form nowadays. So, if Siraj can just work on a little bit of his consistency, if he can, provide a little bit with the bat up the order as well, you become so much more valuable, especially in international selection, because we know how much selectors love picking all-rounders. They just froth at the mouth over them. So, I think everyone just wants to see Siraj do well, especially me. Akash Deep bowled really well. 3 for 45 off 3.5. Look, 45 runs is not great, but 3 wickets, you take that any day for the young fella, and he's got some genuine pace about him. He was pretty good. I mean, obviously, he's a lot younger, he's a lot inexperienced, so he hasn't, he did bowl a lot of not great balls. After he'd been smacked for a boundary, he would put the ball in the exact same place and then went for another boundary the next ball. And I thought, come on, Mr. Deep. Mr. Akash Deep. And then the next ball, he took a wicket. So, he looked pretty good. Hasaranga, as we spoke about, the man of the match. He was, best on. Absolutely. 4 for 20 off 4. He's a superstar. And if you go... I mean, everyone loves Hasaranga. He's such a wholesome guy. And I want him to do really well. I did say he was my RCB player of the season prediction. So, I really hope he does well. For his sake and for mine. And for my YouTube video I made the other week. So, keep going, Harsi. Harshal Patel, I mean, just class. 2 for 11 of 4 overs, an economy of just 2.75. This is what Harshal Patel does. He slows the run rate down and he takes wickets, and that's exactly what he did here. He's good. I mean, we realised that last year he won the purple cap, so it's not like I'm saying anything out of the ordinary that Harshal Patel is actually good at cricket. Wow, who would have thought? But he is really good. He has clearly, lifted up his pace by a few kilometres. He's, his change of variations, bowls a lot of slower balls, takes a lot of pace off the ball. It reminded me of what a guy like Shane Watson used to do a lot. I mean, early in Shane Watson's career, he used to, have a lot of different variations, and then later on in his career, he kind of just stuck to the medium paces. But early in his career, that's what Patel reminds me of. Maybe not as tall or as, bulky as Shane Watson, but a lot of variations and a very similar bowling action. So, I mean, if he can be half the player Shane Watson was, India would have a superstar on their hands. Shabazz Ahmed, none for 16 off 1. Yeah, he got spanked. And he actually probably cost me winning a grand prize last night on... If you've ever heard of this thing called Draft Stars, this is not sponsored. Obviously, because I don't care. Don't do it if you don't want to. But this little like thing called Draft Stars, you just pick a bunch of players, for certain salary cap, and then obviously you pick like 9 players, whoever well they do, you get points, and then it's a leaderboard of whoever enters, like a couple hundred people, or 1,000 people, whatever. You enter like $2, and then you can possibly win like a couple hundred. He cost me. You cost me. But come on, wait, hold on. RCB. No, that's not where where am I up to? I started talking about bloody draft star. Shabazz Ahmed, that's who I was talking about. He did hit some late runs, so actually I can't be too angry, because he probably actually won me a couple bucks. Alright, RCB. They had to chase down 128. Look, that was always going to be an easy task. But just in true RCB fashion, they made it difficult. They made it very difficult. They made it almost a choke in the end. Thank God for RCB, they held on. Because if RCB ended up going on to lose this game, I would have been genuinely worried about every RCB fan's mental health. Because I know RCB fans, if they lose, they're either sent into a deep, deep depression. And if they win, they're either into the happiest day of their life. So, it's always good when RCB win, because it means you don't have to get on Twitter and read about 6 million tweets of RCB fans saying, I'm done with this guy, I'm done with this guy, I'm done with this guy, I hate the coach, all this. So, it's always good when they get the win. Faf du Plessis, unfortunately done for 5 this time. Couldn't back up last game, but whatever. Anuj Rawat, going for a duck. Great ball from Umesh Yadav. Umesh Yadav is looking just incredible at the moment, which I totally skipped over. Hold on. My bad. Wait, no. Oh my God, I'm a dickhead. Hold on. In the next slide. Did I finish here? Yeah, I did. I'll let that out as well. That was embarrassing. I forgot where I was up to. Sorry. So, Virat in at number 3. Let's forget what I just didn't happen. 12 off 7. Look, again, he hit a nice little, upwards cover drive. And then after that, it was, he just went out. And I think we're all waiting out. Every single person across the world, the cricketing world, is just waiting for Virat Kohli to go on and score, obviously another ton, but go on and just get some consistency of runs. I mean, are we expecting Virat to be the same guy as he was in 2016? No, because no one will probably ever be like that again. But, I mean, it's not like Virat's completely changed. He's still the same guy. If anything, he's learnt more. He's probably a better person, a better, with his cricket, better tactics, but he just can't seem to get many runs on the board, which is disappointing because, one of the main reasons I even want to watch RCB is for Virat. Well, he's arguably the reason. Him and Faf would be, and Hasaranga, and Sarah, and yeah, probably most of the team. To be honest, David Willey in at number 4, which, I mean, credit to RCB for trying something new. I'm always crediting when there's something new tried. But, yeah, don't do this again. He was shocking. 18 off 28. 3 fours is nice. But a strike rate of 64. Look, I know they brought him out there to try and just hold the innings and, rotate strike and maybe hit a few boundaries. But wasting 28 balls for 18 runs in a game that they almost lost, which they should have went on to win comfortably, isn't great. And then you can go to Shafrain Rutherford, who I actually thought was okay with the stick in hand, but 28 or 40 in a T20 isn't great. I mean, this is not an ODI, fellas, or a goddamn test match. So either retire yourself or go out there and hit some goddamn runs, because if RCB, again, went on to lose this, I tell you what, Rutherford, Willie, all of these guys were just going to be worried for their social medias because, yeah, look, fans are passionate, so that's all I can say. Shabazz Ahmed, he came in, did the job himself. 27 off 20, went out, but 3 sixes in there, that's pretty good. Dinesh Karthik not out. He's RCB's new finisher. I don't know really why he came in so late, but again, I think they just want to keep him in this finishing role because of how well he's doing it at the moment. Not out for 14 off 7. Hasaranga gone for 4, which Hasaranga threw away his wicket, which almost cost them the game. So, Hasaranga, we love you, little dude, but do never play a shot like that again when the game is on the line. The game is on the line, and he just said, "What? Just hit it straight up." I mean, did you have some food in the microwave back in the change room? Did you have to get back there that early? You couldn't have waited a few more minutes out in the middle, Hussey? I'm sure someone could have looked after your meat pie that was still in the microwave inside, mate. Although, Big David Willie might have gotten in there and tried to eat it. Who knows? But I don't know where I'm going with that. Hey, Harshal Patel then came out, finished the job himself. 10 not out off 6 balls. Finished it off. Hey, Kolkata bowlers. Umesh Yadav, again, looking phenomenal. He's just looking fit. He's bowling incredibly well, getting pace, getting movement. He's looking phenomenal. 2 for 16 or 4. Great bowling. Tim Southee in his Kolkata, his season 2022 debut. 3 for 20 or 4. He was awesome. Dre Russ, unfortunately, he just needs to stop bowling. To be honest, none for 36 off 2. Look, I think it's okay if Dre Russ bowls in Australian conditions, England conditions, West Indian conditions, but in India, it's slow, the ball holds up, especially for a guy who, Dre Russ, who depends on these, on it to just do a bit of movement late. You're not going to get much of that, especially when Dre Russ is bowling like 125s to 135s. You're not going to get all these. Well, to be honest, he just doesn't look ready for bowling. So he only bowled 2.2 overs, and that's probably a reason why. I think Shreyas Iyer would have realised he's not bowling very well. So I can't bowl you too much, Big Dre Russ, but he's a legend, so hopefully he can bounce back. Sunil Narayan, 1 for 12 off 4. Super economical. Chakravarthi, 1 for 33 off 4. Venkatesh Iyer, only bowling 1 over, none for 10 off 1. I mean, what has Venkatesh got to do for more overs out here? I would rather bowl Venkatesh 2 overs instead of Dre Russ bowling 3. I guess it just depends on the pitch. But other than that, I thought KKR bowled really well. It's just, KKR bowled really, really well, but their batsmen didn't set big enough total. If Kolkata made 150, they probably go on and win this game. So, it's just the bear of numbers, and that's what can happen in the IPL. It's either you do enough or you don't. So, hey, that will cap it off. RCB. Let's just go to the table. All right, I had to get the table up. So here we go. So RCB and Kolkata both in 5th and 6th respectively. The first 2 teams to play their second game of the season. What is tonight's game? Just so I can check. Do we have anything exciting? Ooh-wee! I mean, every game's exciting, but LSG versus CSK, okay. So, KL Rahul, the man Bishnoi versus, Jadeja. I was about to say Faf, but no, he does not play there anymore. Guyakwood. Okay, so hey, we've got an exciting match, and then tomorrow, okay, KKR versus Punjab. Wait, I want to go through Punjab's game, sorry. We play CSK, Gujarat Titans. Because I know there's the groups this season, which has confused me a little bit. The groups, you play everyone in your own group twice, and then you play everyone in the other group once, except for one of the teams you play twice, I think, is how they're doing that. But hey, that will cap it off, guys. RCB get the win, and the season is ticking along nicely. Hey, what's your thoughts on the game? Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.